Good morning, this is Around the House with Kay and Tom. This morning I'm going to just make some country buttermilk biscuits. What you need is some self-rising flour, buttermilk, and a stick of butter. That is it. What we'll start out with will be 2 cups of flour, and you always need to re-sift your flour. It doesn't matter whether it says it's been sifted or not. Just always re-sift your flour, because if it's sitting in the store, it'll get some lumps in it, and you want it just sifted as much as it can be. So you can see the inside this, it's got little grains of flour. So we've got 2 cups of flour, we need a stick of butter. You need to have your butter froze. I've got 2 half sticks because we're going to grate this. Set your oven for 450. Put your flour in the bowl and sort of pat it around. Make a sort of a hole in your flour, and just grate your butter right on in there if you can. There we go. If you don't have a grater, you can slice it up in chunks. Just make sure your butter is cold, not melted. Just be careful, don't grate your hand, fingers. Of course, if you had a whole stick of butter, it'd probably be easier because it would be longer, easier to hold. And you can grate your butter up beforehand. Just make sure that you're ready to use it when you grate it up. I have got just a little piece left that's too small for me to grate, so I'm just going to cut it up right quick. And if you don't have a grater, you can cut it up in little pieces. Just as I say, just make sure that your butter is cold. A stick of butter, and we need a cup of buttermilk. Cup of buttermilk. And just start pouring it in there and sort of mixing it together. Just pull in your loose flour from the side of your bowl and just keep mixing it together. And when you've got it mixed together, get part of it off of my gloves, just start molding it in. Knead it. Don't do it too much. Just get it where it's firm. Doesn't take a lot of time to do that. If you keep rolling it over, it'll get it where it won't stick as bad. Okay. Now, get my gloves clean a little bit. Get your pan. Now, I don't usually grease my pan, but if your pan sticks real bad, I would say grease it just a little bit, spray it with Pan, but I don't usually do that. So all you have to do is pinch off a part of it, put flour on your gloves so it won't stick together. And if you, like I did, you used up all your flour, so just put your little bit on the side. All you're going to use it for is to keep your gloves from being so sticky. Two cups of flour usually makes like from 8 to 10 biscuits. I've had people say, well, mine just won't roll out. Mine sticks all to my gloves. Well, put a little bit more flour on the outside or on your gloves so it doesn't stick to your gloves. As many times as I saw my mama make biscuits, I never saw her put on a pair of gloves. So, but this day and time, they want everything to be safer. But you wash your hands real good. I remember my son wanted to learn how to make biscuits, so I told him how to do it. And he went in there and he was making it. He made some pretty biscuits. He really did. And when he got through with them, I asked him, I said, well, did you wash your hands real good? And he looked at me and he said, wash my hands? Was I supposed to? And we had a good laugh on that. That he actually didn't wash his hands as good as or he just didn't wash his hands, but it was funny that he said, was I supposed to? And if you have a little dough left over, I used to always would make the kids just an oblong biscuit, didn't even look like a biscuit, just to use up the dough. Well, I had 9 biscuits. Alright, my stove went off a while ago at 450, so I've got my biscuits made, so we'll put them in the oven, and they'll cook for about 15 minutes, and we'll check on them, and I'm sure they'll be done, but we'll be right back. Alright, we got the biscuits in the oven. We're going to set it for 15 minutes. Okay, my biscuits are now done. So I'm going to take them up and put them over here. Whew. We're just going to take one of our biscuits. Can you see my biscuits? Let's change size. We're just going to take one of these biscuits and I'm going to cut it open. I like the crunchiness of it. Some people, it's just the way I like them cooked. And we're going to put butter on them. Bit of butter on this, and you can put jelly on them. I'm going to eat these. I'm going to make some salmon patties for dinner, and these really go real well with salmon patties. And again, around the house with Kay and Tom. This is just plain old-fashioned homemade biscuits, and all I used was 2 cups of flour, a cup of buttermilk, and a stick of frozen butter grated up. Please give me your comments. Come back to see me around the house with Kay and Tom. Subscribe, and I'll see you later. Have a good day.